Hey folks, welcome to my parlor and my little fire here in my parlor in my house in Hollywood, California, where I live in Hollywood, California. That's a bit redundant, but it just makes me laugh because it's so silly and stupid. Okay, so I was going to tell you about 1984, but without I have to fill you in on the last excruciating hours of 1983, right? Okay, so I had gotten really sick, messed myself up, and then I had to go back to work. So I had to go back to Lexington, but my apartment was uninhabitable, so I was staying with my friends on their couch, and they absolutely understood, and they loved me. But after a few days, it started to get ripe. The situation was like I needed to do something. Anyway, so New Year's Eve came and I was sick. I was just really sick. And they were like, "Hey, we're going out. We're going to the bar for New Year's Eve. It's going to be fabulous. Come on, you're going too." And I was like, I have no money and my kidneys are literally dying. I don't feel like going out tonight. And they said, "Yes, come on, you're going to go out with us. Don't you worry about money." But I knew there was also kind of like, well, we're not going to leave you here in our house. No, I'm not going to leave you here in our house alone while we go downtown. Because I have to admit, we were all just we had kind of questionable character back then. I mean, I'm not saying I would have done anything, but, we were doing what we could to get by and everything. Anyway, I didn't pull shit like that with my friends. But anyway, I understood. So we went to the bar, and I was just like, oh, I don't feel good. And I wasn't drinking because my body felt like, so, it was New Year's, and then the bar closed, and they said, "Please come back for after hours," and we all filed out. And I told my friends, "I'm so ready to go home. I'm so tired." And they said, "Well, we're going back in for after hours." And I was like, "Well, can I?" And they were like, "Oh, come on in for after hours. Just come on in." And I said, "But I don't have any money." And they went, "Oh, okay, well," and just went in. And I was just there, and I didn't have any money, and I did feel sorry for myself because I was like, "Well, what the hell did I just? Well, how did I end up in this shape?" So I just started walking to my old apartment that was uninhabitable. And I just thought, well, I'm going to go there. And I remembered my keys were at my friend's apartment where I was staying. So I said, well, I know how to get in. And I was walking down High Street, which was completely deserted because it was now New Year's morning, like 1:30 or something like that, and a big sedan slows down and comes to a halt next to me, and the window goes down. And it is an acquaintance of mine named John Barker Gray, who was this incredible character in our Lexington scene. He was amazingly smart and funny and witty, and just had a huge heart. But he had a crusty side too. You just need to stay off the crusty side. I found a way to stay away from that. But he pulls up and says, "Hey, sailor, where you going?" And I thought, oh, great, just exactly what I need. I need somebody to try and pick me up tonight. And I knew him. We only knew each other superficially. He knew me from drinking at the bungalow where he tended bar and cooked and hung out with a fun crowd. And anyway, that's it, just totally superficial. So he said, "Where are you headed?" And I said, "I'm going to my apartment." And he said, "Well, get in." And I said, "Okay." And then he said, "So what's up? Because you seem quite distraught." And I said, "Well, it's okay once I get home. I just, I've been staying with friends. I didn't plan on going home tonight, and I don't have my keys. But I know how to get into my building. You don't have to worry about it." And he said, "Listen, I've got a better idea." And I thought, here it comes. And you know what? If he says, I was going to go through with it because I was just desperate. I was just like, at this point, things could only get better. Maybe there would, humans are humans. Love is love. And anyway, I said, "What's that plan?" And he said, "I'm house sitting for a friend. I'm not even going to my apartment tonight. But I could give you the key to my apartment where it's warm and dry, and there's a big pot of chili in the refrigerator that you are more than welcome to help yourself to. And I just want you to rest tonight and just be comfortable tonight." And I didn't even know what to say. I had never had anybody make such a kind offer? And of course I took it. And he went around the block and he said, okay, get some rest. You take care. Ta-ta. And I see so sweet face. It's batting its eyes like that. He did, it was a nervous thing he had. But anyway, that's the kind of thing anybody ever did for me. And it was exactly as it was needed. And John Barker Gray was one of those angels that kind of, to me, I just feel like I don't really believe in the angels because I won't tell you why. Angels not my thing. I mean, I do believe that they existed. I don't think they do anymore, but I don't think that our loved ones become angels because if you study how it worked, you will know that angels have always been angels. People don't just become angels, even though It's a Wonderful Life is the best movie ever. So anyway, here's what happened. His apartment, if I remember correctly, was just like walking into one of the Three Bears bedrooms. It was the cutest damn thing you ever saw with shabby 1930s Art Deco furniture with moth-eaten, but clean as a pin, honey. And his bed, to me, was like a little iron bed, like a little dream iron bed where a teddy bear would sleep. And I slept like a teddy bear in his bed that night. Got up the next morning, had a little bit of chili, wrote him a little note, took off, told him 1,700 times, oh my God, you have no idea how you changed my life that night and absolutely restored my faith in mankind. And he would go, oh, pish tosh, no big deal at all. But it was a big deal. And it was a big deal that nobody else was offering. So that's how my 1983 started. And then I did get, after New Year's, I might have stayed another day at my friend's, but I had to face the music at my apartment. So I was like, well, I've got to stay there. I do have to stay there because I have no place else to go. So I went and I was figuring it out. And I thought if I drag my mattress to the central hall that goes through the building that does not have access to windows or weather from either end, and I shut the doors, I will be insulated, and then I could put my little kerosene heater in there and burn that, and it would be enough to keep that little area warm, and I wouldn't die, at least, of frostbite in my home. And I was just kind of getting it situated, struggling with the mattress, and I hear, hello, son, and I looked up. It was my daddy, and he was standing there all dressed up, because he was a sharp-dressed man when he worked. He liked to look sharp. So he had on his suit and his top coat, looked very elegante. And he said, son, would you do me a big favor? And I said, absolutely, Daddy, whatever. And he said, would you come home with me and stay with your mama and me just for a while until you can get back on your feet and make a little bit better decision about your living arrangement? And I said, and he said, no, but nothing. Look at what you're doing. Look, your mother and I can't sleep at night wondering if you're going to even survive the night because we know you're trying to live basically outdoors here. It's not. And I said, okay. So I did, and I commuted to and from my hometown. It was about an hour to and from. It was no skin off my back. I got to be there with my mom and daddy in the warmth, and I got to eat good meals and feel better, and it saved my money up to get another more responsible apartment, which is what I did. I ended up actually getting an apartment in the building with all of my friends who were like family to me, and it was almost a communal situation. I mean, it was an open door policy. Everybody went home at bedtime, but we usually watched TV together, ate together, hung out together. So I moved in there into a situation like there was no glamour, there was no prettiness. It was kind of like living in an ugly treehouse. It was just, it had kitchen and bathroom. It had a source of heat that I did not control, but it did have that. But it also had a big icy solarium-like entrance that you climbed up a rickety little weird staircase, and you felt that whole part of the house wanting to fall off. Anyway, but it was good, and it was fine, and it kind of like, it was kind of like a little bit of comeuppance for me, because I had been trying to live too fancy and too hot the hog, and I had been like, well, I want to live somewhere really beautiful and glamorous, even if it has no heat, and I can't afford to heat it. So, anyway, I will tell you that I just hunkered down and had a good time at work and staying with my friends, and I was still misbehaving a lot. We all were. We were in our 20s, but the next time I tell you about 84, I will tell you about an upswing in my career and my personal life that changed my life completely for the better forever. And I'll tell you that next time. This has been a sad little tale of woe of me, but don't you feel bad for me, because I got my act together eventually. And then I lost it again, but then I got it together again, but then I lost it again. And it's just all been a big series of ups and downs. And now I'm rich. Now I'm not. Now I'm rich. Now I'm just got these 3 little off-brand sandwich cookies to last me till next Thursday. Anyway, you have a great day. I'm going to go amount to something, and I hope you amount to something today too. And I hope that it's something that you want to amount to, because when you amount to something that you really didn't, that's not good. So that's the word of the day. Amount. Bye, folks.